Nippon Steel, cuts off China's Baoshan Steel and expands globally. Establishes a tripolar structure in the US, India, and Southeast Asia. This summer, Mike Pompeo is appointed as an advisor for the acquisition. Summary from Katsumata Hisayoshi's Worldview article. By TokioX'Press. Steel, M&A. Nikkei, August 10. An article titled Nippon Steel to expand into growing markets with integrated production in the US, India, and Southeast Asia was published. Nippon Steel's overseas strategy is reaching a historic turning point. The company will effectively end its 47-year partnership with China's Baoshan Steel, which it taught blast furnace technology to as part of Japan-China economic cooperation. 1. Reduce China's Baoshan Steel's production capacity by 70%. 2. Instead, concentrate management resources in the US, India, and Southeast Asia. The company will take on the challenge of realizing local production for local consumption by integrated production from upstream processes such as blast furnaces in the three world poles. Wall Street Journal Online, Opinion Section, August 4. An analysis of the acquisition of U.S. Steel was published in the Wall Street Journal. Mike Pompeo, former Secretary of State in the Trump administration, wrote the analysis. 1. This joint venture puts American workers and families first and strengthens American manufacturing. 2. President Biden mistakenly believes that it poses a national security risk to U.S. steel manufacturing. Strong demand for steel in the U.S. The U.S. is an exception among developed countries in that its population continues to grow. The population will grow from 335 million in 2023 to 370 million in 2080. Unlike China, the U.S. has a growing population. It is the only developed country with a growing population. This is why we can expect great demand. China's real estate slump continues. China's recession has become prolonged, and steel demand has declined significantly. Nippon Steel will end its joint venture with Baoshan Steel of China. On August 29, Nippon Steel will withdraw from its joint venture with Baoshan Iron and Steel, a subsidiary of the world's leading Bao Iron and Steel Group. China's steel industry is in a state of overcompetition. China is home to 6 of the world's top 10 companies in terms of crude steel production. 1. China's real estate slump is dragging on, and steel demand is sluggish. 2. Production remains high, and the steel market appears to be over-competitive. China's EV production is also over-competitive. In China, the shift to EVs has progressed rapidly. As a result, Japanese automakers, which are Nippon Steel's customers, are struggling. China's rapid population decline. 1. China is a country whose population will decline rapidly from now on. 2. 6 of the world's top 10 companies are in such a market. This will result in a classic case of overcompetition, and China's demand for steel will decline. New overseas business model. The new overseas target is a model of integrated production from the upstream process of blast furnaces and electric furnaces. Concentrated production system in 3 global poles. In the future, production will be concentrated in 3 poles: the United States, India, and ASEAN. Nippon Steel's crude steel production capacity is currently 66 million tons, but it plans to increase it to 100 million tons in the future. Steel demand in India, research company Steelmint. 1. Steel demand in India is expected to be 120 million tons in 2023. 2. It is expected to increase to 190 million tons in 2030. Joint venture with ArcelorMittal. In India, infrastructure investment is thriving along with the population growth, and steel demand will continue to increase. Nippon Steel is currently building 2 blast furnaces in western India through a joint venture with Europe's ArcelorMittal. 1. With a view to operations from 2025 onwards, the total investment amount will exceed 1 trillion yen. 2. A joint venture between Nippon Steel and Mittal plans to build another steelworks in eastern India. POSCO's activities. Global rivals are also placing India at the core of their growth strategies. In 2022, the company announced that it will move forward with plans to build an integrated steelworks in a joint venture with India's Adani Group. Japan's GE's activities. The company has invested in JSW Steel, India's second-largest steelmaker. The company will launch a joint venture for steel sheets for transformers in anticipation of expanding energy demand. Nippon Steel's global strategy. 1. Lead the world in quality and decarbonization technology, and increase its global presence. 2. The acquisition of U.S. Steel will propel Nippon Steel to become a global company. Nippon Steel will lead the world in quality and decarbonization technology.
Thank you very much for viewing. Released by TokioX'Press channel. Hot news from Far East.